preventing coronavirus and other diseases. Joining me now from Jos, Plateau State, is the Executive Director, Women, Girl, Child Rescue and Development Initiative, Bridget Dakyes. Bridget, it's good to have you join me this morning. Now, the plight of internally displaced persons is a very peculiar and very unique one, if you put it that way. But talk to us basically, what is the government doing to support and ensure that those in the IDPs are safe from coronavirus, especially talking about the issue of enlightenment to them?
Okay, good morning. So far, so good. The government is doing its bit in collaboration with other humanitarian workers who are also on ground to also sensitize the public, particularly also the persons in the displaced camps. So far, the government, when you look at the media, they have been able to sensitize the public through the use of the media, through the use of electronic devices, and even on newspaper and print. You know, they have been doing that. And with also support of humanitarian workers like myself and other humanitarian workers who have been on ground to sensitize persons in the displaced persons camp on the things they need to know about COVID-19 and its dangers, its treatment, and all of the things they all need to do to prevent contracting the virus.
All right, now paint us a picture. Are visitors allowed but with caution, and are IDPs allowed to go out but with caution, or is there a total lockdown within the IDPs? Talk to us about the camps.
Okay, right now I have been getting feedbacks from the camps because for those of us in Jos Plateau State, we do not really have persons in those camps, as the government has tried its best to reintegrate them back to communities. But these persons in the displaced camps who have been reintegrated back to communities still suffer challenges of food, adequate housing, water supply, and all of that. So right now we're talking about the displaced persons in Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe states, I beg your pardon. So those ones are there, and all that they need now is adequate provision of food, adequate provision of proper spacing, because they are unable to actually practice these precautions adequately, as they have been just choked up in one place. So far, humanitarians are doing their best to sensitize these people on the need to really observe social distancing, however best that they can. So far, so good. Like in Borno, the government and the governor has done its best. I noticed that they have done some spacing. So because we are currently not on ground, for throughout December into early this year, I've been in Adamawa State. I've been seeing and communicating with them to see and hear the issues they have right now. But because I cannot, because of the travel ban, we cannot, with my team, go to Yola or Yobe or Adamawa, you know, to see for ourselves. But because we have a network of people who give us feedback, we know that right now sensitizations are going on for them, however best that people can and organizations can. They're trying to do those for them.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. We have to leave you here now. Bridget Dakyes, thank you for joining us. Joining me now from Jos, Plateau State, is the Executive Director, Women, Girl, Child Rescue and Development Initiative, Bridget Dakyes. Bridget, it's good to have you join me this morning. Now, talk to us when it comes to the issue of preventing coronavirus. A lot of awareness creation is supposed to be done, because we still hear people saying that coronavirus does not exist, that is make up by government, you know, to siphon monies. Others are saying it is still the sickness of the rich people. Now, what are you hearing when it comes to, from the window of those who are in IDP camps and who are locked down in that area? How much of these do they understand and do they know?
What you just said, Mike, is true. that a lot of Nigerians still do not believe that coronavirus is real. And they also think it's for the rich men, the men in government. And that also is circulating amongst common people, even in the internally displaced persons camps. And the reason why I think more awareness needs to be done, particularly in the internally displaced camps, because they do not have media devices like television and radios that they could constantly listen to the truth about coronavirus. Coronavirus is real. So hence, there is need for continuous awareness and advocacy to the persons in the displaced camps. So these persons in the camps need more awareness. They need to know about the reality of COVID-19. They also need to know about how it affects them. They also need to know about the treatment and preventions. Now, the common language going on there is that there's nothing there. So life, if you go around, you will see that it's going on normal, even during the lockdowns. And I do not blame the persons in the camps because they have really need to fend for themselves at some point. Even though humanitarian workers and government, everyone tries to do its bit, but has not been a continuous process. So I'm calling on the government right now to make it a continuous process, that these palliatives they are sharing up and down should reach to the persons in the camps. The persons in the camps need to receive palliatives, need to receive proper awareness. There are supposed to be means that these people will know about the real situation when it comes to COVID-19. COVID-19 is real, it's affecting a lot of people. It is the breach that the people have in the displaced camps about proper sensitization and awareness. And how long can we continue to be present when we have lockdown lockdown rules and all that? So these people need a device. They need a way out to know the truth about coronavirus. And one of the first things that the government should do to these people in the internally displaced camps is to provide adequate shelter, adequate spacing, and these people should have adequate housing in order for them to live life normally like I and you, in order to reach out to these devices, to use them, to hear them. Posters are going around in different languages. How many of them can read nor write? Humanitarian workers are going in, day and night, daily, to talk to them about its use. But I tell you, many of them still do not believe in the existence of coronavirus. And it is going, I take it back to the fact that a lot of them do not have food. A lot of them do not have adequate supply of shelter. A lot of them cannot still fend for themselves. So how can you, reach out to this person through this awareness and expect these persons to believe you? The fact that they do not have enough to eat, the fact that they do not have steady incomes, the fact that they are not well empowered alone is closing their ears to believe that there's coronavirus. Because when you tell them to continue to live in the IDP camps, isolate themselves and do not mix with other people, they don't see any reason, because already they are mixed up there. It's already a crowd. So they are thinking, what are you telling us? What are you telling us? We are already a crowd. And you are telling us that there's coronavirus. If coronavirus is real for this set of people, they want to see government interventions.
Right.
They want to see the reality. So far, so good. The United Nations and its humanitarian partners are doing well. Local organizations are doing well, but it is not enough. These people want to live like me and you.
All right, more needs to be done. Yes.
More needs to be done. More awareness.
Okay.
In fact.
Thank you so much, Bridget Dakyes, for reaching us and talking to us on TVC Breakfast.